What's up, Beer League hockey fans and fellow dumpers? Welcome to another Dump and Skate podcast. I'm the co-bender, podcast interview scheduler, on and off the ice ball buster, Jeremy. I obsess about red velvet cake, but I bought vanilla Abdoo. With me is the man that makes this podcast possible, lead producer, the guy with a face for podcasting, A, B, C, and 40 plus league Manny, the one that shows up late to a captain's meeting. And his name is Jeremy. I'll eat your steak and tell you how good it was, Holland.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all shapes, sizes, and flavors? Welcome in to another Dump and Skate podcast. Excited for you guys to be here. I love some of the changes, how you took some things out. Like, I only have a face for radio, or only a face for podcasting, disregard the voice. So it's purely just like, there's no compliments at all. They're all just digs. I love how you're streamlining the intro to where it's maximally effective at taking shots at people. From the guy who says, I didn't think I'd actually trash talk that much. So I love it.
Sets the pace for the podcast.
That's great. Oh, man. The guy who's late for meetings. This is a story of my life. It comes when your last name is Holland, apparently. It's my dad's problem. It was my dad's problem. Like, we're all late. I remember my wife said something about, was frustrated we were late somewhere. And my mom looked at her and was like, get used to it, honey. Oh,
you
man.
Like so slow where you're going to be late for your own funeral kind of thing? Or is
potentially, yeah. Me and my dad are notoriously late for stuff. And it's just because we're busy doing things and we just like, I'm going to leave. And we try to cut things too tight. So if it's like, I got to get there in 30 minutes, but on a good day, I can get there in 25. I'm like, all right, well, guys, we'll leave at 27 minutes. Like, we should be good. And then we hit traffic and it takes 38 minutes. You're like, all right, we were a few minutes late.
Or like, hey, let's start the podcast at 8. And then it's really 8:50.
9 o'clock.
Now.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that wasn't all my fault. I had to do an emergency steak cooking tonight. Oh, and the steak part. I ate your steak and it was really bad. You would have been really angry if I would have given it to you on Thursday. It was not good. It had just gotten really stiff.
Oh, it was old. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad steak or anything like that.
No. Steak would have been good if we would have both eaten them, like right when they were cooked. So it's all good. I've been experimenting stuff. We're going to invite you over to the house this weekend. I was going to invite you this weekend, but this weekend's Mother's Day weekend. I figured you wouldn't be able to come to that. So.
Okay. Well, then maybe there's the following weekend is.
Yes. More than likely to do something like that. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, the weekend after.
Before. Yeah.
Okay.
1920, some of them. Yeah. I got you. We're going to invite you over.
Okay.
We'll do the surf and turf like we had tonight.
Been hearing
about I had to do the. Huh?
I've been known you for a year.
That's okay. We live so far apart. It's hard to travel. Yeah, we had to do an emergency surf and turf tonight because I got home. I went grocery shopping. I got home and I went to put some stuff for meal prep in like the little meat storage bin, and I pulled out 4 steaks that were sitting in there already from this past week. I was like, whoops, these were supposed to be for meal prep. So I had to pull them out. And I was like, I'll just cook them and I'll put them in the refrigerator after they're cooked, and I can cut them up and use them on salads or whatever. Like, let the kids eat them, whatever. And then my youngest little guy, Aiden, was desperately wanting some fish. And I had bought a salmon fillet that I seasoned up. And I was like, fine, I'll cook it for you tonight. And so I had to cook fish and steak. Like I said, had to. It was not the intent. We were doing leftovers because it's Sunday night. I was like, this will be so easy. And I end up in the kitchen for 2 hours cooking stuff. And so, but the kids loved it. Like I told you earlier, like I've got half my household will eat like seafood, fish, and things like that. The other half will not. And so everybody except for my wife ate the fish, and my wife just wasn't very hungry. And so, but yeah, it was quite comical. So the salmon was super good, was a big hit. And then you got to sit here for the last couple minutes and watch me finish eating my plate of steak and salmon, a little cauliflower rice. So protein, and a little bit of healthy vegetables in there. So
there you go. That's why you're
killing
189.
189. I might be 192 in the morning because that was a big steak. So, but it's protein, so I'm sure I'll be able to wear it off a little quicker than the salty goodness of all the other stuff.
Let's give you an enema.
A coffee one.
Yeah, just to lose those couple of
weird. Such a weird video. I also bought the Yasso. I think that's saying it right. The little ice cream bars.
Yeah.
You sent me. I think you sent me the video of the guy.
Yeah.
So I found a couple of those that look pretty good.
Let me know how they are.
Yeah. I've had them before, but they're like a yogurt bar, so they should be good. So, but yeah, big news out of the Holland house, big hockey news out of the Holland house. We had a big weekend this weekend. My wife was out of town at a women's retreat for the with our church. And so me and Aiden, my 9-year-old, who'll be 10 here in another, I think, couple months. So me, my 9-year-old Aiden, and then my two daughters, Desiree and Jasmine, loaded up at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, drove down to Jacksonville. The junior Ghost Pirates had their tryout for next season, and we'd been asked by the coaches to put Aiden into that, and so he was pumped and excited to get to go down there and do it. It was just about an hour-long scrimmage. They rotated, I think it was about 16 kids to no, it's about 12 to 15 kids total. So they were doing a bunch of 3-on-3s with goalies and stuff, and rode up there with him yesterday, had a good time. Got back yesterday evening, got an email that said, congratulations, we're excited to have you join the Junior Ghost Pirates. So he made the team and didn't even have to go through both tryouts. He rode back down early this morning. He left the house at 6 o'clock with our neighbors so they could make it to the 9 o'clock practice down in Jax today. And so I didn't tell him last night. I wanted my wife to get home so we could both talk to him about it. He gets home this afternoon. He's like, oh, I got to tell you something. I scored 2 goals. He actually didn't even know what to call him. He was like, I scored, like, I did the 2 things where you put the puck in the net. And I said, you scored a goal? And he's like, yeah, I did that.
So wait, if he didn't know that there were goals, does he know that he put him in the right goal or 100%. Not? Like, did he put him in his own?
He knew what he did. He just didn't. I don't think he's ever really done it with any regularity before. And it's all like their practices and stuff. They don't really do scrimmage things, full blown. They did do a little bit of it here this last season, the last month and a half or so. But they don't like. He just doesn't know the language particularly well. Yeah. And my 2 littlest ones are funny about, like, they have a hard time remembering names and remembering, so as he does it more often and plays, he'll get it. But yeah, it was really funny. He's like, I did the thing where you like push the puck in the net. I was like, you scored a goal? He's like, I scored 2 of them. I was like, no way. So he was really pumped. So my wife got home. We sat down a couple hours ago outside, and I pulled up the email. I was like, hey, can you read? He struggles reading also. I opened up the email and I said, hang on one second. Sorry. And so I had that's a good podcast. I had him open up the title of the thing, which says congratulations. I was like, can you read that word? And he was standing next to me. We were sitting in our backyard, and he looks at me, he sounds stuff out in his head. So he wasn't sounding it out loud. And I was looking at his face, and he went from this like very serious face trying to read it to all of a sudden he goes, congratulations. And I said, yeah, it says congratulations. He's like, I made it. I said, you did. So I read him the full email where it talks about, you got to sign up and da. And so they're excited. So they sent another email that said, you're welcome to join the team, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, he's really pumped. I had asked him earlier today. I said, hey, look, if you don't make the team, like, how do you feel? He's like, oh, I'll probably cry. Then he started laughing and all. I was like, well, will you be bummed? He's like, yeah, no, I want to make it. I really want to do it. And I said, well, if you don't make the team, I was like, would you just be like, it's okay, I'll just like play whatever in the house league stuff or whatever? I was like, he's like, no, I'll just work harder so I can make the team. I was like, all right, this kid's a Hollander all the way. Like that's 100% me and my brothers, exactly how we acted. My dad's the same way. So I think my wife's the same way too. She's super, super competitive. So he's even though he's not biologically connected to us, he's got a lot of his dad's traits in him. So only the good ones so far. So that's good. None of the doesn't have the face for podcast. He has the face for TV, thankfully. So good looking kid, thankfully. So yeah. So big weekend here. We were really excited. A lot of fun for us. How about you, bud? How was the weekend? No hockey, no nothing. A little bit of playoff hockey watching, I'm sure.
I just need hockey in my life. I'm ready for this tournament. Playoffs are keeping me sane, but once playoffs are over with, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. So I'm serious. Like, I mean, you said it before, like, you know how important hockey is to me, and hockey is a huge part of my life. And so it was nice to watch I really wanted Toronto to win, really bummed out, but I didn't even stay up enough to watch it. Went into overtime. I was already asleep. It was the Rangers won. I was really happy with that. Go Connor Mackey and the Rangers. Let's see who Oh, right now I think Dallas is still winning. Um,
Hang on, I'll
but
check
that's
that
about.
score. Are you watching it in the background or no?
No, I'm not watching in the background because I'm afraid like you'll start talking and then I
And you'll
won't even
start
pay it.
cheering or something?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tie game. It's a
Okay.
tie game, 1-1.
But you said that the roller guys here in Savannah brought home a W championship. So go
Yeah,
ahead and give them
yeah.
a shout.
The boys went up to Snellville, and I'm trying to see if I can find where they posted several things. Um, went up to Snellville and played in the Echo finals. I guess it was their Echoes championship, and the boys won. Sorry, I'm trying to look through the roster here. I know some of the guys offhand. Here we go. Yeah, so they sent up two teams. The bronze guys, or not the bronze guys, the club roster. Those guys got bounced in the semis, but they made it into it. So that was good for them. Smoke was there. John Pulte, sporting my full outfit. He stopped by the house on his way out of town and grabbed my pants and jersey. So even though I wasn't there, at least my jersey was there. So
Well, that's what did it.
it very well could have been. It very well could have been. Jacob Galinsky plays here locally. Chilos used to play here. A couple other guys: Brian Moore, Alex Freeman, Carter Metzger, Harrisburger. Sounds like there's only 2 or 3 guys from the area here
All right.
that played with them. So those boys had a tough out. Sounds like that was a tough division. But big shout out. I got a bunch of buddies that played in the bronze division. My boy Mike Mitchell, who told me he was going to listen to the podcast. If he listens to this one, he'll hear the shout out. So he flew in from New York and played with some of the boys. Let's see, Chilas played with the bronze guys as well. Cam O'Toole, good buddy Alex Hegstrom, Heggy, Trace Williams, kid I actually grew up playing sort of against. He was from the Atlanta area, and he was younger than me, but he skated with our guys this year. James Kravis, who I don't know, and then our good friend from Boston, the one half of the Callow brothers, Cam Callow, and then Jim Stilley, the goalie. They had a couple other guys. I looked at their roster, had 9 guys on, so they obviously picked up a couple guys. I'm sure I missed one of the guys from Savannah on there, so I apologize. But yeah, I was going to give the Cams, Cam O'Toole, Cam Callow. Those boys are both from the Boston area, and I was texting Mitchie last night asking him how the games went and things, and he said he was I don't know where he was, but he was watching the Toronto Boston game with the Cams. He said, and Toronto scored late, and I said, "Oh no, sad Cams," and he laughed. And then immediately Boston scored, and I was like, "Oh, happy Cams!" And so we were having a good time laughing about it. So yeah, shout out to those guys. It sounded like they got to the final and beat the dog snot out of whoever they were playing. I think it was a 4-1 game, and so good for them. Big congratulations for those guys. Those are some good players. Happy they got up there and got a win. And I was talking to Mitchie this afternoon and told him congrats because I knew they went last year and won in this same bronze division. And but they went under the old 912 name. I think they didn't go under the Gators name. And I told him congrats on the 2-peat. And he said, that's 3-peat to you, sir. So apparently they went up there 2 years ago and won, but I wasn't around those guys much, so I didn't even know they did that. So the boys kind of have a reputation up there in Snellville of showing up and taking over the town and shutting everything down on the rink. So good for them. Heck of a way to end the tournament season for those guys. So big shout out to the roller guys. Lots of love to you guys. Congratulations.
Good job, boys. All right.
Yep. So, well, tonight we want to spend a little bit of time talking with all of you, our great listeners, about Cellys. But before we jump into that, we want to give one quick shout out to our good buddies at B&R Sports. If you got any equipment needs you need, sticks, skates, shinnies, elbows, everything, they got it. brsports.com.
BR Sport, no S.
Sport, sorry, no S, my bad. brsport.com. Let the boys up there back in Chicago handle all of your needs. They are our go-to for equipment. We want you guys to know about them too. They should be your go-to as well. So, and also, if you're listening to this and you haven't hit the like button, you haven't hit the subscribe button, what are you doing? hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on all the social medias. Abdoo is killing it with updates and videos and things. I know you posted one today that I haven't even had a chance to go look at. That's just how busy I've been. But we see you guys liking the social media posts. We see you guys following stuff. So tell your friends, share the podcast. Abdoo had a super, super special guest. I don't know that we can name drop, but go ahead and tell about how far the podcast is reaching, because it's making it into the pro ranks, right?
It is making it into the pro ranks. I was told we can't name drop just yet.
All good.
But as you guys know, I have a really good friend that's an NHL referee, and it's making its way through the referee locker room, which is really cool. They like the prank. They like the prank, and that led to they wanted to find out, well, who is this Lindsay girl and who is this Cooch? So then they started to listen to the King and Queen. So slowly but surely, we're getting people all over the place, from high to low, from beer leagues to NHL locker rooms to roller hockey, if you want to call that hockey. But yeah.
I call it hockey. Good grief. Yeah, definitely cool that you guys are liking, sharing. It's moving around. We really appreciate all the support. So make sure, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, follow us on everything. If you subscribe, it helps it get out more to your friends. And so I think we're right at around 30 subscribers, viewers consistently. So I think our goal personally is to get that number up to 50 to 100. So like I said, share this as much as you can. We really appreciate the love you guys are showing us. So with that out of the way, let's chat about Cellys tonight. So we want to talk a little bit about whether you Celly, whether you don't Celly. If you Celly, do you Celly too hard? And so is there such a thing as Cellying too hard? And how does that go? So Abdoo, let's get your thoughts on what you think about Cellys. We've got, I don't have the video queued up yet because we haven't quite figured out how to get all that going. But my understanding is there's some good videos of some of your Cellys out there.
All right. So to be honest, and this is the God's honest truth, I didn't start doing Cellys until down here. For the record, there is video of me doing the Abdoo, but Kelly Seymour
There's
thought it was funny.
photographic image of you doing the Abdoo behind you.
If you're looking
That's
at the
not
YouTube,
in Savannah. That's back in Chicago.
That was at an outdoor rink, and then a friend of mine, Kelly Seymour, has one of me doing it on during warm-ups in Chicago. But that's as far as it goes. I didn't start doing the funny ones until this is what sparked it. I did it once down here, and Corey thought it was hilarious. So I just rolled with the Abdoo down here, and then he started doing the Abdoo. And
so if you're not listening, or I mean, if you're not watching this on YouTube, Abdoo, explain what the heck the freaking Abdoo is.
All right. Well, everybody knows what the dab is, right? It's when you put I don't know how to explain the dab. Google it, you guys. It's just
I love it.
You just bend one arm, put your head into your elbow, and straighten out the other arm. So I modified it because it's called the dab. I just did it and slid on the ice and called it the Abdoo.
But you slid on the ice. And again, if you're watching this, you can see, but you slid on the ice face first, and then you like lifted one leg and left the other one back. Like you're half Heisman, half Abdoo.
I will post a video. I'll post the video for the people so they can see. It is kind of hard to explain. It's just
it is.
You just got to watch it, and I'll post it. But yeah,
it's pretty uncomfortable to watch. I'll just be honest. But yeah,
it depends on what you're into. Some people might be into dabs, OnlyFans, Jeremy Abdoo. So yeah, you can.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was a good one. I love it. Right next to your feet.
Yeah, and then down here, it turned into. I would send Corey like videos of Cellys. Now, a lot of the kids in competitive hockey these days are doing the Cellys. They do the selfie stick Celly. They do what other Cellys are there? There's so many of them out there. I mean, and I get it because hockey is a very passionate game, and in an intense game, you score a goal, you like to Celly. It's kind of like scoring a touchdown in a big moment. It's just football's a passionate game, hockey's a passionate game.
Yeah,
I
see,
think they're funny. I do
I,
it to be comical. I don't do it to be an asshole.
I do. Yeah, no, I know you're nothing you're doing is trying to be like a jerk. Although we're going to discuss a couple of them, and I think they're a little borderline. Yeah, we've got a list of Cellys, and so we were full disclosure. We were sitting down, and we've got a list of them that we've seen in our local league, and then some that we've seen some videos of that we thought were funny or like at least worth talking a little bit about. And we're going to bring up some that have hit YouTube and stuff that a lot of you guys may have seen, so you'll know what we're talking about as well. And I don't know, half the list has you involved in it.
It does.
Like,
It does. I even threw you a couple other ones out
as
there
we were, yeah,
in a
as we were
text, and you're like,
talking,
"Oh, that's another Abdoo Celly.
yeah,
That's another
as we
Abdoo
were
Celly."
talking, and the funny thing was like you never labeled it like, hey, look, this is the one I did. That you were like, hey, what about the one in this game? And I'm like, yeah, that's the one you did. You were like, oh yeah. What about the one where you were playing and you scored? And then I said, yeah, that was another one that involved you. And you were like, yeah, well, what about that same game and like the score and the goalie? And I said, yeah, that was you too, Abdoo. I was like we've got 12 Cellys, 8 of them have your name attached to them, like where you
Eat
did
that,
something.
James. I score goals, James.
No, one of them you Cellied, I scored, and you didn't even. I just skated back to center ice, and we had this weird. But that's got a backstory too. Anyways, so yeah, it was quite comical. Where like you 100% are involved like tremendously with a bunch of these Cellys, which was hilarious. Now, like, so my whole opinion on Celly, I'm not a Celly guy. Now, it could be because I don't score a lot of goals, and that's also true. I'm just not a goal scoring guy, and I'm totally fine. That doesn't hurt my feelings. So that may make you think like, well, hey, when you do score, do you like go nuts and get excited? No, I've always viewed like scoring a goal. I mean, it, you know, a touchdown, hitting a home run, like all, making a basket in basketball, whatever. Like it's your job. You're playing the sport. That's the goal of the sport. And my mindset has always been like, look, just do your job. And you can high five your teammates or whatever, like go to the bench or whatever. And typically like, hey, I scored a goal last season, my good buddy Mitchie, right? And it was I think there was like 2 seconds left or less. I think it was less. It was less than a second left when the puck went through, and neither one of us celebrated. Both skate back to the bench, and we sat on the bench. And then we started talking about the goal and like, oh, that was sick, and this was cool and all. And so like that was it though. But it was just he and I talking. It wasn't like us like slapping hands with the whole team or whatever. And so I've always been that way.
Because you don't care. You just don't care.
I've always been that way though. It's just never been something where I've been super pumped. So, however, I'm not opposed to Cellys. I have had a pretty good laugh, and the one that involves you and me was 100%. Was it my idea or was it something that you came up with? Was it my idea?
You know what?
We talked about it.
The Celly was your idea, but
okay.
It goes to the behavior.
Well, let's just So we'll just go straight into it. All right. So one of the Cellys we did, and again, this was I remember talking about it. You and I were talking about Cellys, and we were talking about this podcast we were going to have. And I jokingly said, like, hey, the next time we play together, because I do pick up in C League some, and I was picking up with your team a little bit.
This was in 40 plus too, wasn't it?
Yeah, this happened to be in 40 plus. So I had filled in for 40 plus. And so there were a bunch of things going on. There are actually 2 Cellys in this one, and I'll let you talk about the second one because I don't even want to touch it with a 30-foot pole because it made me feel gross. The first one kind of made me feel gross too. I still don't understand why I recommend it. Anyways, so we were talking about Cellys, and I was like, hey, you know what would be funny is like if you and I are playing in a game and one of us scores instead of like if you score instead of you Cellying, because it was kind of your thing. We talked about some of the celebrations you've done. Like I'll just come up and do like the from behind the back hug, like the awkward behind the back hug, and we'll just skate around like that post goal until either like the ref is like, hey, we're gonna drop the puck, what are you doing? Or like one of us gets really, really uncomfortable. I was like, that'd just be kind of funny. It's an inside joke between you and I. No one else would really know it. Now, as that all that's coming out of my mouth right now as we're talking, I don't know why I recommended that. Like, there's nothing about that that looks like appealing to me.
I think it's just because you just wanted.
I don't know.
Be that close to me.
I don't know. I would have never taken it as far as you took it. So we get into the game. We have a 40+ game. We end up short a guy, and you were there because you had a C League game that night. And so I called you and I was like, hey, we're still light a guy. You need to come down to the locker room and pick up. You were like, absolutely, got my stuff. Run down, get dressed, right? First goal of the game. I think it was our first goal of the game.
Yeah.
I score the goal, and again, typical of how I scored a goal, turn around, just skate back over towards center ice. No big deal. A couple of the guys, came over and like, fist bump, whatever. And the next thing I know is here you come. You were like, "Are we doing it? Are we doing it?" And I was like, "Huh?" And I go, "Oh yeah,
I just
that's
wrapped
right.
my arms around
That's
you
right."
and did not
it was,
let go.
we were at the top of the circles in the offensive zone, and you wrapped around my waist. And I was like, this is kind of funny. And I'm thinking, and I'm looking over at the benches, and I'm like, people are like, what are they doing? That's kind of weird. So we go all the way, and I skate past the face-off circle at center ice.
And you were playing defense. So
I was. And so I kind of skate towards the bench. I'm like, well, I'm not going to get off the ice. I had just started the shift. And so I go to turn and go back towards my D position. I realize I've still got a trailer attached to me. What the heck is going on? And I'm like, all right, we're good. And you were like, no, it's not awkward enough yet. And I was like, no, it's weird now. Like, it's super weird. I forgot you were back there. And so I turned and ended up skating like right center, just off the center ice face-off circle, and stop. And you were like, okay, is it far enough? I was like, he's about to drop the puck. I think it's gone way far enough. So you let go and went over and like everything. And I was like, man, I cannot believe that. Like, I laughed afterwards. I was like, all right, that was kind of comical. But even now, I'm like, why? What was I thinking? Like, why on earth did I suggest that be the Celly we do? It's so weird. It was.
You've been hanging around me too much. You've been.
Hey, I will say this though. It was the least flamboyant celebration you've ever done.
Come on, the special team, special players, that wasn't flamboyant.
I mean, it was loud enough. It was loud enough that there were kids in the stands that heard it. Okay. It was loud enough that there were. Okay. If there were kids that would have been in the stands when you were hugging me, they probably would have looked at their parents and be like, "Mom, what are those men doing?"
It's like Chaz Michael in the movie. Well, what's that Will Ferrell movie?
Yeah,
Blades of Glory. Yeah. That's the Chaz Michael Celly.
Michael Celly. Is that its official name now? The Chaz Michael.
We can give it that name. Doing it. Jacksonville, we're doing it.
I'm definitely playing D the entire time in Jacksonville.
I'll tell you what, if Cooch scores, I'm wrapping my arms around him.
Oh God, he'll beat your face in.
That's fine. It's worth
Cooch
it.
will just start punching you in the head. Like, get him, Cooch, knock him out. Peel the cage off.
Then the whole team and the other team.
Yes, be like, what is wrong with these guys? Like, shut up, leave us alone. Oh man. All right. So that same game in the 40 plus, you got a goal. You got we only scored 2 that game, and you scored it.
On Brent.
Yeah, and so Brent was playing for the other team, and is your goalie and Celly was playing with the other team. Mm-hmm. Take it away, Abdoo. I'll let you, because there was some lead up to this. Like, this was a well thought out, although bad thoughts. It was a well thought out celebration on your part, right?
Yeah, this game actually needed like an X rating or an R rating.
Just this one celebration needed the X rating.
So
it was real bad.
Brent, I think Brent's a great goalie, and if I were to score on him, I was like, I need to come up with a good Celly. So I just go, hey, Brent, if I score a goal on you, can I dry hump you? And he never really gave me an answer, so I feel like if you didn't want me to, he would have said no, right? Like, if he didn't want me to,
no answer is a yes.
Yeah,
that's right. Abdoo's consent form you fill out. If you don't say no, it's a yes. Watch out, ladies. And men. Watch out, ladies and men. Just heads up. You better answer pretty loud and affirmatively no. Oh, we're going to get me too'd so hard on this podcast. I'm so nervous now. Go ahead. Keep going.
I asked the ref. I go, ref, if I score, I'm going to dry hump him, so don't give me a penalty. And the ref's like, I just won't look. And I go, no, you're going to want to watch. I go, no, you're going to want to watch. And, I have family that are listening to this, so I'm sorry. But, this is, they've known me for 48 years.
No sense apologizing now.
Yeah, they wouldn't expect any different from Jeremy. So the puck comes right to me, and I just put it in the bottom corner, and it goes right in, and I just skate up right to Brent, and I rodeoed him like broke back cowboy.
What you did was grabbed his head.
I did grab his head. I'm cleaning it up for my family. This is where you could take over.
I'm not touching this. It made me uncomfortable watching from 40 feet away.
I grabbed his head and just had my way with him. And, For the record, Brent, you did not pull away. You were still on the ground. So I figure.
Oh, silence means yes in Abdoo's book, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. So,
Silence is consent.
for my family
Holy
listening, I'm so
smokes.
sorry, but it was hilarious. It was
Oh
hilarious.
man,
And
it was bad.
it was not bad.
It was so
Yeah,
bad.
both teams laughed. Everyone got a kick out of it. That's just the fun and shenanigans you get when I'm on your team.
Yeah. So there were some really wholesome Cellys that were pretty exciting to watch. We watched the Griffins, which is Lindsey Sprintz's team, play in the semifinals game against the Phantoms. And Lindsey scored a goal. You and I were sitting in the stands watching.
Oh, this is the playoff game.
Oh, yeah, this is the
no.
playoff game. That's right. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Playoff game. First round of playoffs. And I think she scored and they went up by. Was it that? No, it was the Spoonbills game, wasn't it? It was the Spoonbills game.
It was Spoonbills, yeah.
It was when they played the Spoonbills.
I remember telling her that was the game-winning goal.
I don't think it was, but yeah.
Let me lie and just tell her it was.
Lindsay, that was the game winner. Like it was 100% the game winner. So Lindsay, and gosh, I wish we would have had video of this because this is all we can do is describe it. And this one, we've still been trying to figure out what we call it, but I'm going to do it. The next time I score, I don't Celly. I'm doing the Lindsay, the pick-me-up toddler. Celly is what I'm going to label it as. Lindsay is probably 4'11", 5 foot, somewhere in there. She's
I'm going to say 5'2", 5'3".
That's fine. 5'2", 5'3". She's real close to 5 foot. So short in stature, right? And so Lindsay follows. It was a third player in, trailing the play. Puck squirts out, and she basically buries that puppy into an empty net because the goalie couldn't get over. Great play on her part. Way to be like in the right spot. Buries it, skates right by the net, bumps into the boards, and spins around and faces her teammates. And everyone reacted with such excitement that I thought it was her first goal ever. I've just not paid attention. I found out later that it was not, that she scored several other goals regular season, last season, this season. But Lindsay legit, like, hands straight up in the air like a toddler who wants to be picked up by their mom and just hops up and down like a pogo stick with her hands straight up and down about 4 times. And I died laughing. Like it was, she was just super pumped. All of her teammates rush her and like just freaking mob her over there. So she starts skating back. We're all screaming at her, calling her the queen and stuff from the stands. She turns and looks at us, and there's like 3 of us that just hop up and down like a toddler. And she was dying laughing. So it was phenomenal. It was such a good. Again, it wasn't she wasn't dry humping the goalie, thankfully, because that would have been really weird. And probably gotten her in a lot of trouble in that game.
She would have gotten an email.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Come to find out, matter of fact, I need to go revisit this dry hump thing. Maybe there is video and another email needs to be sent out. Yeah, it was so pure. It was just, I loved every second of it. So yeah,
what I liked about that goal,
your boy Cooch.
I'm sorry. What I liked about that goal,
no, go ahead.
That team really just rallied against her. Like when she scored, everyone on the ice just swarmed around her.
They didn't rally against her.
No,
they didn't rally against her.
They rallied around her. They rallied around her, and when they congratulated her, they just swallowed her up, and she disappeared.
Yeah,
and
it's because she's like 5 foot.
Yeah, but I love how they that team comes together, and good team.
Yeah, your boy Cooch had a big one that was pretty wholesome too. I thought it was pretty exciting watching him. That was the playoff game where he scored the clapper.
Yeah, that was in the championship game. Scores a goal, and I mean, he's a big dude, and we talked about this on the podcast before. But when he scored that goal, I think that put us up. It either
put you guys up,
yeah,
put you up. It was a 2-1 game at that point.
He just did one of those. One of my favorite, like when I see it on NHL players when they do it, he just runs into the boards and jumps into the glass. I love that, Celly, just because it's pure excitement, pure just not planned. It's just like, yeah. And when he did that, they almost had to shut down the rink because all the boards were going to collapse. All the boards.
I heard a rumor that the county crew that was taking the boards down said all of the bolts that held the boards on that side were like rolled over to the left a little bit.
He loosened them up.
What happened?
He loosened them up. So
that was pretty. That was exciting. I didn't see it. I missed it. And then we talked with him about it when we saw him on Thursday night. And he said, "Oh, I wasn't even really trying to run into the boards." Basically, he said he took the shot. He saw he scored, but his momentum kept him driving towards the board. So he just jumped so he didn't fall over when he hit the boards. So he was like, then once he bounced off of, then he was like, yeah, and celebrated. So Rob is like a hard celebrator. His I told you one of my favorite things post championship for you guys was watching him, again, not the language, because that's not my speed, but like dropping the F-bombs and like fist pumping and stuff when he got the keg cup. Yeah, he was pumped. So Rob's just like a heck yeah type guy. Like,
he's a passionate guy. He's passion.
Yeah.
More passion, more energy. Just you know what I'm talking? More passion, more energy. More energy.
That's right. So the other wholesome one I had is I don't know if Spikes listens to the show or not. So Spikes, if you don't listen to the show, you should listen to the show, but you wouldn't hear this if you don't listen. So somebody that knows Spikes, share it with him so he can hear this, because we're talking about Michael Spikes. Our guy Michael Spikes is fairly new to the sport, and he scored, I believe, his first goal this season. And I was up in the stands, typically where I'm at for C League, doing admin stuff, just kind of keeping a bird's eye view on all the games. And he was basically like in the low slot, right? Puck comes to him and got his balance good, but he buries a puck, right? Just buries it. I mean, it was pure joy. I don't think he knew what to do with any part of his body. Like it was, he looked like he looked like he just went into a full body like seizure, just like just his arms. He threw his hands straight up. He can't jump up and down, because I think if he could jump up and down, he would have fallen over. And so, and that's I'm not trying to pick on you, Spikes. If you can hop up and down on the ice, I'm really sorry about it. But Spikes is like a bevy league guy. He's a true C League guy. And so I think he wanted to hop. And so what happened is, like, he lifted his foot up and down, like on the insole inside the skate, but the blade never left the ice. Like it was just, internal hops, And so, but like he legit took his stick when he threw his hands, and I don't think he meant to do it. His stick went 30 feet in the air. Like he launched it straight up in the air when he threw his hands up. And I fell out of the chair I was sitting in laughing so hard, because his stick just goes flying up. I mean, we play in a pretty big arena, and like, I'm like, it's going to hit the rafters. Like, where is the thing going? And so, yeah, it came down. I think it slammed into the ice or whatever. He picks it up. Same kind of thing. Team rushes him. Everybody was really excited for him and happy for him. The best part about that, Celly, I left the stands and I came around to the players' benches and was hanging out. The referee comes over with the puck he just scored with, and hands it to one of the guys. He's like, it's his first goal, obviously, right? He goes, here's the puck.
It's funny.
Oh, so good.
The first C League in Zeros or the first game for Zeros, since men's league started, I got a hat trick and I grabbed the puck out of the net and I threw it to Ponton.
Why did you throw it to Andy?
Because he was an admin at the time, and I just said, "Here, Andy, here you go," because he was watching the games, the very first round, first games. Yeah, so I just grabbed it to him and gave it to him. I thought he wanted a souvenir. I thought that was nice.
That's weird. That's really weird. Oh man, sorry, I hit these. Had a couple other. Oh, these were bad. There's a pair of them here. I'll let you do yours first, and then I'll do mine.
No, you just tell. I don't.
No. This is yours, because the other one's me, but it's not me.
Let me talk about yours.
No. I'll do my own. Thank you very much, because I didn't see yours. You can add in when I talk about mine if you want to, but it's not me selling. It's bad. So yours was in C League last season when you were subbing for the Silver Knights, right?
Oh yeah, this is the Corey one.
They were playing there you go. Take it away, big boy. Take it away.
So you and Corey were on Boone Bills, and I was subbing for the Silver Knights. I sent you a video clip of it. Corey, this is what sparked off all my selling down here. Corey scores a goal, and I just go into the huddle with all your teammates on the other team, and I go, great goal. That was a great goal. I high-fived him, high-fived everybody in the circle and everything. And Corey just let out that Corey laugh where he couldn't stop laughing. You said he went to the bench and he goes, "Did you see Abdoo come to
I didn't
come to
see it.
us?"
I
No,
didn't
but
see it at all.
yeah, that was some of the guys on the Silver Knights weren't happy that I did that.
Some of them, huh?
Yeah, a few. A couple of the guys didn't
It's
notice.
usually a bad. A couple of the guys weren't looking. Yeah, so those guys weren't too mad when they got to the locker room and were told what you did. They probably got mad then. Yeah. So to be clear, if you didn't fully understand that, myself and Corey were subbing in with one team. Abdoo was subbing in with the opposing team. Corey scored, and Abdoo proceeded to high five all of the players, including Corey, on the team that he was playing against, even though he was a sub for them. So
I tapped him on the helmets. I said,
I
"Good
know
pass."
there were some. I know that you had gotten a lot of calls from the Silver Knights about subbing, and then for some weird reason after that game, a lot of the calls stopped. I really am not sure why. I feel like the answer is fairly straightforward and obvious. So, but yeah, high fiving the other team when they score is definitely a unique Celly.
Is
So,
that looked down upon? I was just happy for Corey. I was happy for
yeah,
Corey.
yeah. So I had a Celly similar to that. It's not nearly as funny. I was playing with my 40+ team. We were in a tie game. Yeah, it was brutal. And I was not having a particularly good game. In fact, that game, Alan, our good friend who referees, was reffing and had actually called me out. I was like, it's not your best game. And I was like, easy, Alan, relax, buddy. Like, I get it. And so ended up in the corner of the rink. And I looked up and I was looking at about 2 or 3 of the opposing team's players all stacked up on the boards, and none of my guys were there. So I glanced to the right and I could see space to my right, obviously in the slot in the center of the rink in my own end. And I said, my D partner has to be right there. I just peeled over into the corner to pick up this loose puck. There's no reason he wouldn't be in the slot still where we were just defending the play. So I gently lay the puck out there on my backhand about the time I picked my head up. So I did not look real clear there, obviously, but I just kind of made an assumption where my guy should be. I lay the puck out there off my backhand, and as soon as I picked my head up, I realized that our good friend Dougie, who plays for that team, for the other team, was gliding into the slot with no one around. My defensive partner had, for some weird reason, skated to the opposite corner of the rink, had not said a word. I don't know why he left the slot when we were literally just playing defense. I just don't understand what happened there. So anyways, it was a backhand pass right to Doug. And Doug basically took a one-timer and buried it. So we lost that game, buried it.
That was
we lost that game. Yeah, we lost that game 3-2, and that was the reason we lost. So, of course, stupid play on my part. I'd been asked to play with these guys to help them out, and I felt like a real idiot for making that kind of play. And so put my head down, I was just kind of leaning over on my knees. I was like, what a moron. Like, how dumb am I? Dougie skates away from all of his teammates, doesn't want to give any of them a high five, comes over to me and puts his fist right in front of my face and says, "Hey, nice assist, bud."
Yep.
So I fist pumped
assist.
him, and I was like, I hate your guts so much right now, Doug. I just hate you so much. So, but Doug's a good guy, so I knew it was all in fun. But man, talk about kicking a guy in the scrotum when you're already down. That was a firm kick that got both of them on that one. So that was a huge bummer. That was bad. That one hurt. And then what made it worse was it gave you and my brother ammunition to come on down, be like, "Hey, nice pass, man. Nice pass. Who were you looking for there? What was that about?" I was like, "All right, guys, I got it. I know it was a bad pass, 100%. I explained to both of you what I was thinking and why it was wrong because I didn't look up. And so to this day, you guys both quite enjoy making me relive that.
It was the best assist I've seen. Best assist I've seen. You do.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. That says a lot. That's bad. A couple of high profile ones. You want to talk about the NYPD FDNY one?
Yeah. So let's see. April, this just last month. One of my favorite games to watch is the FDNY NYPD charity Guns and Hoses game. I don't think it's really called the Guns and Hoses, but fireman scores and he goes against the boards like he's like what firemen do, feeling the hot spots, breaks into the bench. he uses his stick. The other guy hits his stick to break in and hops onto the bench. That was really creative. I liked that one. And again, that was a high profile game. And it just was form fitting, really form fitting.
I think that one made like ESPN or something like that because I think that's what you
it should have.
Yeah, and I'm good with that one because that's a charity game. That's kind of fun. The one that you and I have talked about several times is it's either a high school or a junior game. I'm sure people have seen it because it's all over YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, all the different short clips platforms. And it is a high school or junior game. The kid comes down, snipes the goalie top shelf, and it's a water bottle shot. Knocks his water bottle off the net onto the ground in the far corner. The kid Cellys holds his hands up, goes behind the net immediately, like beelines behind the net, like puts his arms back down, grabs the goalie's water bottle, picks it up, takes a big shot of water, and slings it on the ground back towards the goalie. And so
that 2-minute penalty.
He ended up. Yeah. Did you say you saw it and he did get a penalty for it?
He did get a 2-minute penalty. Now, that one is a bold
there's
move.
There's got to be a backstory behind that. Like, I can't imagine being like, "Hey, watch me pick up the goalie's water bottle and take a sip from it."
It could have been just on the fly, just a reaction. I don't know if it was planned or not. Like, how often do you say, "Hey, I'm going to knock the water bottle out, and if I do, I'm going to drink it. I'm going to get a 2-minute penalty." But
that's a jerk move, though. In my opinion, that's a jerk move.
Yeah. And it's a jerk move, especially if they're up. Like, if that was like a 10-2 game, and he just made that goal 11-2.
I don't even a 3-2 game where he makes it it's a 2-2 and he makes it 3-2. Like, come on, dude, what are you doing? To me, that type of Celly, you're just asking for it. Like, you're just asking for somebody to come for you.
Ass beat. Yep.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know. Like, that's what's so silly to me. And again, I'm I've already said I'm not a huge Celly guy. So, how about your shootout, Celly?
Oh, yeah.
Championship shootout, Celly.
And look,
you're lucky. You're really lucky those guys all like you, because that was a jerk move too.
I wouldn't have done it. If it wasn't against the Griffins. If it was like
your new best friend Doug Scott, your new best friend Doug Scott almost
he tripped me.
Almost
he
put
was
you back
making
in the
me
hospital.
bite.
Yeah.
So I'll post this. We talked about this. I'll post it. One of the most popular Cellys these days, kids are doing the selfie stick Celly, where they put their glove on the blade of their stick and then pretend like it's a camera and do a Celly. I did that once in regular season when I skated around Lindsay and I scored. And then she said, "Yeah, I told about like all my friends at work about that Celly, and it sucked because you did it against me. We were supposed to do it when we're on the same team, not when we're against each other." So my shootout goal, the only goal that was scored in the championship, by the way.
In the shootout, not in the championship.
It was in the championship.
It was the only shootout goal scored. You said it was the only goal scored.
Oh, shoot. You're right. I'm sorry. Well, the only goal in the shootout for the championship. I stand corrected.
To be fair, a couple of guys did flat out miss the net. So, I mean,
it wasn't me.
It wasn't you. It definitely wasn't you.
So, score the goal. I put my glove on the blade of my stick, and I skated right to the Griffin bench. Doug Scott brings his stick out, and I almost bit it. You can hear the people in the crowd just laughing at that. But even if I did fall, I would have just laid on the ice right in front of their bench. Just
kept taking the selfie.
Yeah, and just watch the rest of the shootout from the laying on the ground, because I was beat tired.
You should have gone and skated and let yourself onto their bench and taken the selfie, then just hung out there for a minute.
I did that last season too. The Zeros were on a really bad losing streak, and
so you just traded. You just changed teams mid-game.
I said I just want to know what it's like to sit on a winning bench. I've done that.
Yeah. Trash talk, yeah. Dude.
But
how about goalie Cellys? How about Brent Celly after the so to set that one up, you guys had shot first, right? No.
Yeah, because I went for no. Doug went first, then I went first.
The Griffins went first, right? So you scored on your first shot. Brent stopped Doug on his. Then Brent stopped Corey.
Yep.
Willman missed his, and so their last hope was Bond. And so Brent made the save that basically gave you guys the win, right?
Solidified
And
the win. Yeah.
yeah, so justifiable goalie Celly here, given the circumstances. So, and I didn't see it good because I was half dressed getting ready for my game. So you said he yard sailed it, right?
Yeah, I think I sent you the video, but Brent's glove went from, because Brent was in the crease skating to the circle, like the face-off circle in the corner, went from the circle, and Brent's glove or blocker went all the way to the blue line, and it was a legit like. It reminded me of when Corey Crawford threw his glove when he won this championship. Rightfully so, Brent. He said he was so nervous during the shootout. He didn't even see my goal. He didn't know what happened. He said he was so nervous, but when he stopped that third goal, he yard sailed through his glove, through his helmet. Yeah, that rightfully so. I think that's an acceptable Celly. And then we all just skated up to him, and
Yeah,
I
then you
think
guys
we all dry
all-
humped him.
yeah.
We all dry humped him. Like we all took turns.
It's a zeros team tradition.
Yeah.
Oh man, everybody, it's your turn. It's your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, weirdos. So maybe I don't need to skate with you guys next season. I'm not. That's not really my speed. Although I am the one that recommended the uncomfortable hug. So gee, Manetti's, what in the world? So then probably my least favorite goalie, Celly, and I'm considering this a Celly, and we talked about whether or not it was. The Mike Tanuzzi plays goalie for the Silver Knights. I've known Tanuzzi for quite a while, and News does some of the most unnecessary glove flashes for a guy that makes saves that look fairly routine. And then we were talking earlier, it's like puck comes at my face, so I put my glove in front of it, and then I snatch it over here. Like
He just does the flash.
Yeah, he loves to do the glove flash. Any chance he gets, he loves to flash the leather. He doesn't do the like hold it in front of you puck drop stuff. He doesn't even do like the flick it out of the glove onto the top of the glove. So he doesn't do any of that, but he loves to flash the glove. And I always he got me like that one time in a roller game. We were playing against him, and I was way off balance and took a very, very slow speed shot at his glove side. I mean, like, my dog could have probably jumped up and stood in front of it. Like, it was insanely slow, right? And so sure enough, he didn't do the full butterfly stuff, but like, I mean, it's coming right just barely above where he holds his glove. And I watched and I said, oh God, he's going to do it. I know he's going to do it. Like, that's how slow it was moving.
That's how slow it is. You can process.
I had time to
yes.
process, like, this is going to be uncomfortable to watch. And sure enough, like, snags it and then like travels 8 feet over his head with it and like all the way over, back over. And so, gets the guys out there to watch, like, oh man, I'm thinking, boys,
calm down.
It was a 2.5 mile an hour shot. It wasn't that good. And so the really funny part is, he did it. That was last season. So when I was playing with a different team, he did it to Mike Gardner as well. Same kind of thing. Gardner kind of took an off speed shot. It was a little off balance. And about 2 minutes later, Guards freaking sniped him one. And I turned around and looked at his bench. And I said, oh, how about that one, boys? I don't hear the mouths there. So yeah,
his saves are like, remember the video game NBA Jam? How like everything's just so extra. It's exactly that. And it's like you shoot. If you shoot it in his glove, like, he doesn't even have to move his glove, and then he'll still do the flash.
I love it.
Flash.
It's incredible. So, oh my gosh, yeah, so many good Celly. So
another Dick Celly. I sent you this one. You guys can Google this. The Artem Anisimov one, where he scores a goal and then points his stick like a gun at the goal.
Oh, that's
the biggest Dick Celly ever.
That's one but he didn't point it at the goalie. He pointed it at a player.
I thought he pointed it at the goal.
Oh, maybe go back and watch it. It looked like he pointed it right at a player because the player tried to come after him.
Yeah. Either way, it's a dick move. Dick Celly.
That's on the level with the grab the water bottle stuff. Like, there's got to be a backstory there or something going on. Like, that just like I got no time for that.
That would be like if Ocho Cinco played hockey. It would be one of those, or Terrell Owens played hockey.
That'd be the equivalent of if Ocho Cinco pulled the Sharpie out, signed the football, and then went and handed it to the DB that he just outran or whatever. Like that.
I'm doing it.
Sign it.
Nashville.
Oh gosh, no,
Here we go.
no, not in Nashville. I don't need to try to defend you against people we don't know. It's hard enough defending you against people we do know that kind of like you. Now you want to go do this
All
against
right, fine.
random people?
I'll do the Terrell Owens pretend to pull down my pants right at the goalpost.
Oh,
Where he takes a dump.
don't do any of that. Just oh gosh. All right, we're gonna have a team rule. If Abdoo scores, we're all just gonna tackle him so he doesn't do anything stupid. Tie him up and take him back to the bench. Oh man, you're gonna get the most awkward 4-man uncomfortable hug every time you score in Nashville. Like, why are you guys hugging me? We're just carrying you off the ice, Abdoo.
I can't wait. Then that's fine. That's fine.
It's gonna be exciting for you. It's gonna be awkward for the rest of us. Holy crap. Oh gosh, please don't do anything stupid like that. So oh man, well, that's the Celly pod, boys and girls. Tell us what you think. Drop a like, drop a comment. Sorry, not to drop a like. Drop a comment. Let us know which one was your favorite. There's some we didn't get to, so maybe we'll bring them up on another pod. But yeah, if you've got one that you think you really enjoy, you want to share with us, drop the Abdoo's going to post some social media posts with some videos of some of the Cellys coming up this week. So throw your favorite video Cellys in the comments of any of them, and keep listening. So really appreciate you guys being with us and listening to us again. Like I said, we're pushing up the likes, so share it with your friends, guys. Much love for you boys and girls out there listening to us. So thanks for hanging. Peace.
Bye.